Welcome to the Silent Hill game ranking. Last year, I did a Resident Evil game ranking, which went through 16 Resident Evil games that I have played, not all of them, only the ones that I have put time into. And that's going to be the same here. I did say I was going to rank all the Silent Hill games. That's not true. So, we'll go through the ones that I haven't played first, to see, I haven't disregarded any. I think I've included all the Silent Hill games that exist. If I haven't, then let me know. If Pyramid Head embezzled money, would it be a pyramid scheme? I think it'd just be a scheme, Morbo, because they've already got the Pyramid Head sorted. The pyramid part sorted. Which one is it? Is it PowerPoint slideshow Silent Hill ranking, or is it Silent Hill ranking PowerPoint? I think it's PowerPoint slideshow. Yeah, okay, it is. Now, as you can see here, we got the ranking. Halloween special, Silent Hill game ranking. Let's get through this, shall we? Let's get started. I'm gonna bring the screen back, why not? Good old Microsoft PowerPoint, I love it. Games not included, chat. These are the Silent Hill games that I have not played or have put any time into. This includes the Silent Hill collection, which was like an early PS2 game collection for, I think, Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. Silent Hill mobile game, Silent Hill Orphan, also a mobile game, Silent Hill The Escape, also a mobile game, Silent Hill Orphan 2, Silent Hill Orphan 3, Silent Hill HD collection. I have never touched that, and I never intend to, because it is shit. And then Silent Hill Book of Memories. Every other Silent Hill game is going to be on this list. The only one here that I think is worth talking about is Silent Hill Book of Memories, because it's a very unique game in the Silent Hill world. I think it's top down, like a Zelda is weird. What about Silent Hill Purple Marijuana Unsane? I thought it's like a Japanese word there, I thought it's like a Morbo. We don't talk about that. My favourite part of that stream last night was when I accidentally recommended that guy blue weed. That was good. Let's hope that they're okay. Actually, no, we know very little about them, so maybe not. Anyway, chat. 14. I didn't add any slide transitions here. We don't need them. Obviously, number 14 is reserved for the absolute shittest of the shit. The bottom of the lake. The bottom of, the shit lake. That being Silent Hill, the arcade. Not the arcade game, Silent Hill, the arcade. This video game, I don't need to say anything about it that I don't think has already been said by Maelstrom or other people who have played this game. It is shit. This is the end of Silent Hill for a long time. After Silent Hill 4 released, we got a bunch of shit video games, and this was probably the pinnacle of that. It throws the cool, kind of weird world of Silent Hill into a blender just for its own amusement. The boat sucks. The combat isn't even that good, chat, for an arcade game. Personally, anyway, watching Maelstrom play it, it didn't seem that good. And the story is terrible. The best part of the game is the cover art. And I like the green and the white. I think it looks neat. That's the best part of this game. Everything else is very bad. That's all I'm going to say on it. Don't play this. Doesn't exist. Don't play this game, chat. I mean, you can. That's the saving grace about it. You can play Silent Hill Arcade. Moving on to shit for different reasons, I present to you Silent Hill Ascension. You might be wondering, Flower, why isn't Silent Hill Ascension higher? You obviously enjoy it a fair bit. I enjoy it in a way that should not be enjoyed. This is a very, very bad piece of media. I just want to point this out here. Completely, taking away the bit I put on whenever I speak about Silent Hill Ascension. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, you have the revival of Silent Hill, with Silent Hill 2 Remake being great, and then Silent Hill F also being pretty good. And then you also announced at the time a complete, video game TV show choice thing where you put money into it to get the choices, and more content comes out as you play it? I don't know what they were thinking, chat. I mean, they weren't thinking, they were thinking of money. And I don't really blame people for being, like, kind of worried where they were taking Silent Hill. Especially with this being here. The story is laughably bad. The like actual character animations, and there was a point in the show, chat, where I got a character confused with another character, and I thought they were the same character for like an entire season. And then at the end it was revealed they were different characters, and one of them was dead. I was like, what are you talking about? Both storylines are bad. The monster designs are shit. Their attempt to expand the mythos, which doesn't need a mythos, like, who cares, is bad. Everything about this is awful. All gone a bit Sixth Sense. Sort of. Maybe. I don't know. Chat, don't even check this out. There's a reason why there hasn't been a Silent Hill Ascension Season 3, chat, because I just don't care. I feel like Season 2 drained me of even the, like, irony that of me watching those things. Right, moving on to 12. Yeah, okay, here we go. So now at the proper Silent Hill ranking, I would say, getting the non-video games out of the way. There's one more coming up, which is technically not really a full video game, but you'll know what it is. Silent Hill Homecoming. Chat, I'm going to say this every single time. Do not play this video game. If you like Silent Hill, if you like Silent Hill 2, 3, even 4, do not play this game. When it came out, they called this Silent Hill 5. That's how confident they were with this when they gave it to that studio in America. It is not good. The gameplay is terrible. The story is awful. The bringing back a Pyramid Head is a staggeringly bad decision. I don't want to say anything else about this game. I don't want to even look at it anymore. It's probably one of my least favorite video games I've ever made, chat. Because it annoys me. It pisses me off. At least the Silent Hill Ascension, I can enjoy its stupidity. I like the shock and twist about Pyramid Head's long-lost brother, Trapezoid Noggin. Yeah, there was no reason to put Pyramid Head in this game. And yet they did it. And they also did it in Downpour. To be fair, to a lesser extent in Downpour, but he was in Downpour when he shouldn't have been. They should have... Why didn't they bring Valtiel back? You know, like the creature that is actually tied to Silent Hill's like cult and the god stuff, and also has a cool design. It just shows that they were making this game for money and they didn't care at all. There was no subtlety, no work put into this. Do not play Homecoming. Yes, do not play it. Even if you're curious of how bad it is, if you're curious to play a bad video game, play Downpour, because at least it's not awful like this game is. Anyway, that's it. That's my point done. Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Now, chat, this is a bit low for Silent Hill Shattered Memories, you'd think. I have a confession to make, chat. I kind of fell off this game in the first hour. I did eventually come back to watching the rest of it, but what they went with, like, the controls were an interesting idea. Like, them going for kind of semi-VR-esque. I think there's a VR version of this game out there. And using the Wiimote to kind of control your first-person perspective as you go across, like, a very unique version of Silent Hill, like this kind of frosted city or town compared to the usual kind of rusted metal furnace look that Silent Hill has. That's a cool idea. Everything that it does visually and its retelling of Silent Hill 1 is interesting. But everything else is bad, chat. The gameplay is not good. It's sticky, it's awkward. I don't like the hiding. I don't like the environments. I mean, they're really ugly. Even though I like the idea of it. The biggest sin this game commits is it's not very memorable. I don't remember anything about it, chat. Even now, I'm failing to recall anything that I can think about when it comes to Shattered Memories. Maybe I'll play it again at some point in the future. I don't think it's a bad game. It's definitely worth checking out if you're interested in it. Stop saying sticky. I said sticky once. I mean, ice is sticky. In a unique way. Okay. So, Downpour, I have the smallest amount of respect for. And I don't know if Pastry knows about this, or anyone in the community knows that I don't hate Downpour in the same way I hate other Silent Hill games. Homecoming is bad because it is made to make money. There's no love put into that game at all. It's just, here's bullshit, enjoy. At least with Downpour, there was an attempt to trying something original. And I will say, for the first hour of this game, I was interested. And then they put you in the cave area, and I just lost all care in the world of what they were doing. At the very least, Downpour tries to do something unique. That is not something that can be said about Homecoming. It is a game that is bad gameplay-wise, bad mostly story-wise. Every single plot twist that happens in the game you can read a mile away. They are going for the Silent Hill 2 approach, where it's following a guy who went through psychological torment because of something they've done in the past. They basically tell you what it is in the first hour, so there's no, like, intrigue. And honestly, that if it didn't go for the Silent Hill 2 approach and did something similar to Homecoming, I might actually have liked it more, because then I wouldn't have gotten pissed off comparing this game to Silent Hill 2. I didn't realize this list was going to be so negative, chat. I thought it was going to be a lot more positive than this, but there's a lot of stinking games in the Silent Hill series. I think this is the last, like, one I don't like. Because I think the next one I do like. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're on to PT. So technically PT isn't a Silent Hill game. Remember, why is it on this list, chat? It's here because it was a prototype for Silent Hills, a game that we never got because of Konami and their fallout with Kojima. The reason why it's so low is because it's 10 minutes long. Chat, I am not ranking this game higher than Origins just because it's really good horror for 10 minutes. My experience of Origins was longer and more enjoyable than PT. PT was like a 10-minute game and it's over. It's a great, like, showcase of that kind of horror and kind of, like, revolutionized indie horror in a lot of weird ways in how it presents itself. But I think that it can't go any higher, chat, because it's not even a game, it's a playable teaser. And that kind of shows you what I feel of the other ones before, just like Downpour and Homecoming and Shattered Memories. I like a playable teaser that's 10 minutes long more than those games. Look, I didn't get around to trying PT. And that's something else as well, you can't play it nowadays, which is a bit rough. 9, and we're on PT. I assume Arcade is yet to show up then. I'm going to go back from Maelstrom just so we can see where Arcade is. Oh, wrong way. Silent Hill the Arcade is at the end of the list. Number 14. Then you got Ascension, then you got Homecoming, then you got Shattered Memories, then you got Downpour, and then you got PT. There you go. Enjoy. Number 8. Silent Hill. This short message. This game, when it came out, was, I think, the first Silent Hill thing we ever got from Konami in, like, over 10 years. Well, since Shattered Memories, which was 2012, I believe. Oh no, I think Book of Memories was 2012. And when this came out, people hit this game hard for its attempt at tackling social media and the toxic community that can be built from a social media account. I'm going to say this now, chat. I like it a lot. I like their attempt at tackling something like this, and I think the execution's really good. I think that people expected a lot from a game that was only meant to be 2 hours long, and just a teaser of what they could do with the Silent Hill engine, which we ended up getting with Silent Hill F. I hope in hindsight people are willing to give this game more of a chance now, because they were that starved for Silent Hill, they were pissed off with how alright it was. I enjoyed this a fair bit. I like the execution, the music was fantastic. The chase sequences are really unique in how you use your phone to direct yourself through the very spacious corridors. I think the chase sequences were really well done and scary. Man, I'm getting mega buffers. Mega buffers. Hold on. I'm not dropping any frames right now. I'm fine. Chat, are you fine? I thought the geometry was okay for the most part until the final part, which frustrated me. I kind of like the ending. I like the looping mechanic. I think it works for a 2-hour experience. You can beat this game in like a single session if you wanted to, chat. My OBS has been doing that all week. Well, I need to know if it's like an actual pop. I'm having a look. I'm not having any network issues. Maybe refresh Maelstrom. Silent Hill 4. The room. I didn't actually add the room to the title card. Should have done that. Gaming services using all my network. The fuck is gaming services? Is that Xbox trying to do an update? It could be Xbox. They've done that to me in the past. Silent Hill 4 The Room. I spoke a lot about this when Maelstrom played it on his channel. I don't hate Silent Hill 4 The Room. I kind of love it in some ways. I think that the execution of like the murderer plotline and the ritual that Walter Sullivan did to attempt this kind of weird thing involving his mother was really interesting. And Walter Sullivan as a villain is really cool. I think when he shows up in the second half of the game, that's the best part of the second half of the game, because it's terrifying. It's a guy who follows you. However, despite that, and despite the structure that I don't actually hate, I don't hate going back through the game again. The main thing that makes it rough, chat, is the gameplay. The gameplay is really bad here. In fact, it reminds me a lot of Silent Hill F, with how the gameplay is handled, because they really emphasize melee combat and the use of certain things to deal with the ghosts. I think if it was better balanced, if the ghosts weren't as annoying and scary still, I think this could be up there as one of the best Silent Hill games. The issue mainly stems from the fact that this game was rushed. Team Silent had little time to work on this because of Konami, and we ended up getting a mixed bag product because of that. And that kind of ended the relationship between Team Silent and Konami, I think, before they worked on Siren. The room itself is really cool. Again, structure and presentation, top notch. I like how they went different with this. They didn't do the same thing they did with the previous Silent Hill games. It's not set in Silent Hill. There is references to Silent Hill in this game, but it's not set in there. And like I said, everything involving Walter Sullivan, and even the concept of the ghost is really cool. I just wish that it was better handled and it was a better game. And he didn't have to like lug Eileen around with you for the second half of the experience. And then, a game that is quite high, chat, compared to some of the others. Silent Hill Origins. I love this game, chat. This is like a guilty pleasure for me in a lot of ways. I think it's not perfect. I think that the story isn't good. Particularly their attempts to like anime like make the Silent Hill 1, like they're giving characters aura because of their importance to the first game. It kind of reminds me a lot of Resident Evil 0 and how it presents its story. But I can't sit here and say I don't like Silent Hill Origins, because it does what I think Silent Hill Downpour and Homecoming fail at, which is expand on the world without it feeling stupid and dumb. You go to some cool places in this game, chat. I'm not going to spoil it for people in chat who haven't played it yet, but the places that you go to in this game are really unique. The monster designs are... I think the monster designs are the best in the series in this game, outside of maybe Silent Hill 3. If you're on a guilty pleasure thing, I think I'm the only person who doesn't think Dead Space 3 is shit. Yeah, this is definitely a guilty pleasure for me. I have a lot of love for Origins. I love the fact that you can throw microwaves at monsters. I love the puzzles. I love the setting. It's just the story isn't very good, but that's the main thing holding it back. Wait? I'm the only one who doesn't think... No, that works, Morbo. That does work. You just don't double negative yourself. I understood what you were saying. That's fine. I'm allowed to have that opinion about Dead Space 3. Silent Hill F. I Honestly, chat, I didn't know if this game was going to be hard in Silent Hill Origins. I was thinking on it about where I was going to put this game. The main thing worth noting about Silent Hill F is it struggles from the same problems that Silent Hill 4 struggles from, which is I adore the concept, like a Japanese village, everything involving the kind of weird plant like blood vines, everything involving Hanako and her friends and family is really well done. Story is impeccable. It's actually way better than Silent Hill 4 in that regard. The person they brought in for this, who worked on Hiragami, is it what called? What's that? It's not called Hiragami. What's it called? Who worked on the other thing? Very good, very well told story. I like the endings, and I don't know if you know this about this game, Maelstrom, but you kind of need to play the game multiple times to get the entire story, which, unfortunately, brings up the big issue with Silent Hill F. The thing that drags this game down, and might honestly put it just below Silent Hill 3, for me, is the combat. I am sure people had a lot of enjoyment with the combat in this game, but I just couldn't get into it. Every single time I tried to just enjoy the atmosphere or the kind of world that they were trying to set out for me, there was a monster that appeared and just ruined it. I don't understand this obsession with making Silent Hill so combat focused. You might be like, but Flower, Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, 4 have enemies in it, but they also have moments where they just allow you to enjoy the atmosphere. Like, they know that the scary thing is what you're looking at, not being constantly attacked by monsters, which do have good designs, but at the end of the day, like, if you're going to make me go for this, like, parry system where I would need to think about the gameplay, you're failing as a Silent Hill game. Tell that to Brookhaven Hospital Part 2. What, Silent Hill Remake? Oh, I'll be getting to that in a second, in terms of issues. I struggle to... It's the same thing with Silksong, actually. I think that the vibes, unfortunately, are overridden by this feeling of annoyance concerning the combat and the difficulty, where it's not balanced appropriately. With Elden Ring, you can decide when and what you fight things, and you get allowed to enjoy the environment as much as you want. Silent Hill F, you can't do that. There are enemies around every single corner. You are going to be having a rough time about it. I had to put the game on easy mode, chat, because let me tell you this, for people who haven't played Silent Hill F, there is no normal mode in this game. There was an easy, there was a hard, and there was a really hard. What do you mean? I'm going to be curious to see what you do with this, Maelstrom, when you check it out, because you, alongside me, have the same mentality of, if I'm going to be playing the game on a difficulty they intend me to play, and in this case, I think it puts you on easy mode at the beginning of the game, Maelstrom. I think that's what happened for me. But yeah, good game. Combat drags it down. I did not want to play this 4 times to fucking see the entire ending. Whoever made that decision, I'm like, sure, it's your video game. You do your weird things with it. I'm not going to do that 4 times, game. If the combat was good, maybe I'll think about doing it. But no. If I want closure, I should have to spend quadruple the amount of time to get the ending. Sorry, that's not happening. You haven't earned it. And then moving on to Silent Hill 2 2024 remake from Bloober Team, a game that I was very pleasantly surprised by. I have a mixed relationship with Bloober Team, chat, you know this. You know how much I thought about Layers of Fear, The Medium, Blair Witch, and how much I don't like them. I didn't think Bloober were capable of making a game with subtlety and intrigue in a way where they just kind of, like, didn't sabotage themselves in their attempt to explore a game with psychological horror. Because Layers of Fear, it did things very... There was no subtlety about anything in that game. The Medium, like, having the main character's own, like, mental difficulties end up leading to them, like, having a bad ending because of it, and suggesting there is no escape for someone with those problems is, what the fuck are you talking about? The point of the game is showing how they can deal with it, and you're just doing the opposite. You're just showing the horror behind it. I think that shit is egregious. Multiple playthroughs to get trending is shit. The trending should be obtainable on your first playthrough, even if you don't need to do some optional quests or without. Multiple playthroughs should be able to turn in as funny endings. Yeah, like the UFO ending, which I enjoyed. It was silly and funny. But I don't think I need to talk about Silent Hill 2 as much about compared to some of the others. I love this game. Bloober did a fantastic job with telling the story. It looks incredible. It is the best looking Silent Hill game in my opinion. Like, Silent Hill F looks great for the aesthetic it's going for, but I just love the setting a lot more. I just do. I like the kind of American kind of rundown rundown town. You get to explore a bunch of new environments in this game, like a theater, the memorial park, seeing the hotel fully realized, and other aspects of the game like the hospital. The Historical Society is fucking fantastic. I can't wait for you to get there, Maelstrom. It's so well done. I was so happy with it. I was like giddy my entire time down there on like a roller coaster ride. It was very scary. It was the one point in the game where I generally got very nervous. So I'm looking forward to you seeing that. There is like the only issue I really have, like in terms of how the game is done, is pacing. I think that there are segments that don't need to be as long as they were. At the end of the day, getting more Silent Hill is nice. I like getting more Silent Hill 2. I don't hate that, but fighting enemies over and over again in the same environments does get a bit repetitive. Like for example, the hospital segment you're on right now, Maelstrom. The puzzles are great. I love the puzzles. That one you did yesterday, which was the light puzzle, where you have to look at the light flickering and do the hourglass, not hourglass, the clock. Cool as hell. Cool puzzle. But there are just parts in that game that just feel unnecessarily long. And yeah, that's my opinion on it. I like it a lot though. Trademark Konami. And now we're in the last free chat, the original trilogy of games. You can try and work out what these are going to be, but I'll be starting with Silent Hill 1. Yes, this is hard, and Silent Hill 2 Remake. I fucking love Silent Hill 1. I think that this isn't as good gameplay-wise as Silent Hill... Yeah, okay. Maybe Maelstrom, you might be right. You might be right. I think that gameplay-wise, Silent Hill 1 isn't as good as Silent Hill 2 Remake, but it is undeniable what they achieved with this on such a limited hardware. We were talking about it last night, but what makes Silent Hill 1 so good is that they didn't have a lot they could do horror-wise with the PS1, but what they did achieve is monumental. Like the use of the rendering to make as fog, great idea. Like the transition between the other world and the real world, the use of the monsters, like generally great subtle jump scares. Like the cat jump scare is great in the hospital, in the school, the hospital going to the 4th level. It's a horror game that's so meticulous and smart that you think, oh, it's a PS1 horror game. Surely it's not going to be that clever. No, this game's really good. You just kind of don't notice it because of how wacky the story is. But everything on a gameplay level and just how it presents itself is outstanding. I still think that this game has my favorite otherworld transition in it out of all the games. Maybe a close second actually, because I do like the one in Silent Hill 3 where you go for the hospital, but I really love the initial overworld transition in this game where you go for the bunker, you hear the siren in the background, and then you step out onto the school grounds, you see the giant rune circle in the middle, and then it's like something is not normal. And they don't say anything about what's going on, and they're in an entirely new school. It's so memorable. I love it. What a game. I cannot wait to see what Bloober do with this one. I want to play it again. Damn it. Maybe I'll play it before Silent Hill 1 Remake comes out. I think it's to see how Remake pans out. I think a lot of what made 1 so creepy to me was the eerie jankiness of the PS1 tech. I agree. I don't know how they're going to handle it. Maybe they'll make it shorter. They don't have to make the game like as long as Silent Hill 2 Remake. if they're working on Silent Hill 3 as well, it would make sense for this game to be a bit of a shorter experience, maybe like 10 hours or so. And they don't have to make this game obscenely long just because they need to, you know, make it look good. And then we move on to Silent Hill 3. I know this is Maelstrom's favourite Silent Hill of the original trilogy. And like, it's... I do love this game a lot. I think that this is in my top 10 favourite horror games. Silent Hill 2 being my favourite. Like, ever game ever. Or not maybe no game ever, but my favourite horror game ever. Silent Hill 3, chat, is one of the scariest games ever made. I still stand by that fact. I think that the decisions that they make that fans don't like, one of the things I always hear is that people don't like how little narrative there is between the mall, the subway, the building, and the sewers, or the mall, the subway, the sewers, the building, and then to Harry's house. I love it because they don't give you a second to breathe. You're just thrusted into nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. You don't really get your first overworld transition to the hospital. And I think Silent Hill 3, again, heavily carried by the protagonist. Like, Heather is someone who hasn't done anything wrong. Personally, like, Heather, like, she's a teenager, might have done, like, a couple of silly things in her life, but she is someone who is thrusted into this world and doesn't want to be. And you feel really bad for her. Like, you just can't help but feel attached to this character because she's forced to deal with nightmare after nightmare. And then you watch bad thing after bad thing occur as she makes her way through the actual town of Silent Hill. You see her getting more confident in dealing with everything around her. Great character. Great setting. I also like Douglas as well, the detective as well. I like him a lot as a character. This game's very limited cast of fun. I think it has the best story of the original Silent Hill games. There's a bunch of really good scenes. I like the scene with Douglas and Heather in the car. The scene they share at the amusement park. The one with her and Vincent in the final area where Vincent's like, "Oh, the monsters, they're not... You see them as actual creatures, huh?" And that kind of like put everyone through mental whiplash of, wait, is this how Heather is seeing them? Is Heather just killing cult members? And she's just seeing them as monsters? Great shit. Great writing. Great game. Great puzzles. Outside of the hard puzzles, which are like the Shakespeare puzzle in the first area, that can fuck off. I think what I like so much about Silent Hill 3 is the blending of the visual horror from Silent Hill 1 with like a horror from Silent Hill 2, and it makes it so well. Yeah. Also the best monster designs in the series, in my opinion. I love the really loud, like, floating bugs, the closers, the giant guys with like the long, languid arms, and their awful faces. Bosses are great too. Douglas holds the rare ward of Silent Hill Park Embassy with an Evo dream or secretly evil. Yeah, he's great. We love him. And then finally, of course, Silent Hill 2. Yeah, Silent Hill 3 was never going to beat it. Silent Hill 2 is a special game to me. I don't think even Remake was going to beat it, because I think Silent Hill 2 is the perfect game, in my opinion. I fail to find things that are bad about it. Because all the things that you could say are bad about this game, I can just list off as non-intentional but intuitive game design. Like, the combat is Yankee. James isn't really a fighter, so it makes sense. The voice acting is bad. Sure, that probably wasn't intentional, but it adds to the eeriness of this game. Like, it is perfectly paced, unlike Silent Hill 2 Remake. There's virtually nothing wrong about this game story-wise. I think the combat's good, the puzzles are great. Everything, from the Historical Society to the end of the game, I think is just peak horror. I fail to find any horror game that achieves what Silent Hill 2 does. And like the biggest thing for me, I think, is that Silent Hill 2 isn't trying to be scary in the same way Silent Hill 3 or 1 are. Like, I feel like they're games that try to be like try and unnerve you in a way that Silent Hill 2 doesn't. This is a game that, first and foremost, wants to tell this really sad story about James and his wife. And because of that, I think it has this almost fairy tale-esque direction to it. The music is a lot less visceral in this game compared to the other two. It's a lot more dreamlike. It's an experience that I think just elevates Silent Hill in a way which other series don't really achieve. They don't have a Silent Hill 2. Resident Evil kind of has Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 2, I'd say, but to a lesser extent. There's not a single Resident Evil game that I like more than this. And yeah, that's it. That's my ranking, chat. To go through it from the end to the beginning, we have Silent Hill the Arcade, poop. Silent Hill Ascension, poop. Silent Hill Homecoming, poop. Silent Hill Shattered Memories, less so poop. Silent Hill Downpour, also less so poop. PT, it's good, it's fine. Silent Hill Short Message, it's fine. Silent Hill 4, it's fine. Silent Hill Origins, I like it. I enjoy it. I like Silent Hill F. I enjoy it. Really like Silent Hill 2. Love Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill 3 is amazing. Perfect video game. There it is, chat. Hope you all enjoyed the Silent Hill ranking. A bit shorter than the Resident Evil ranking because there's less. I think the Resident Evil ranking was like 16 games. This is and I had less to say about it because I have my list. This is how it goes, chat. Right. Let's go here, turn this off, and then go to here, and then we'll do the rest of our stream, chat, where we play the princess, where we'll try and get half the vestiges that we need to get before the ending, or before we stop playing. Right, there we go. No, not Microsoft Word. They changed the logos for the Microsoft apps, and I kind of hate it. They put the actual letter to signify what app it is in the bottom left, and it's harder to read what they are now. Just put it in the middle. Every other app does it. Anyway. Silly ramble over.